understanding of the physiology and the anatomy of breathing so that we can better help those that we are coaching. So we're now going to follow the breath through the body, the anatomy of every part of the body that the breath goes through. Okay, we're going to look at the flow of the breath. So the inhale through the nose is initiated, as we said, by the brainstem, and it regulates the amount of CO2 in the bloodstream. Cells in the brainstem initiate the inhale. The air first passes through the pharynx, down through the larynx and the trachea into the chest cavity. Now, in the chest cavity, the bronchi separate into the right and the left lungs. Each lung is divided into lobes. The right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung has 2. So each lung can move freely in all directions except at the root, which is principally comprised of the tubes and the arteries that connect to the windpipe and the heart. Now, even when we exhale, when we breathe out, as much as we can, there's still around 1,000 milliliters of air remains in the lungs to prevent them from collapsing. In the lungs, air-filled bronchi divide into finer and finer branches until the air reaches little sacs called alveoli, which run alongside the blood-filled pulmonary capillaries. Now, these alveoli in the lungs are running parallel to the capillaries in the bloodstreams. And they are so small, these capillaries, that only one cell at a time can pass through in single file in these small little capillaries that go alongside the lungs. There are 750 million alveoli and capillaries running side by side. And the capillaries take oxygen from the alveoli and they exchange carbon dioxide into the lungs. Once the oxygen has been sent to the capillaries, the bloodstream takes that oxygen to the 100 trillion cells of the body. And another exchange takes place in the cells. The oxygen goes into the cells and the waste products from the cells go into the bloodstream, which are taken back to the lungs. All this takes place with every breath. So again, just to repeat, with every breath, 750 million alveoli and capillaries exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide, and the bloodstream takes them to the cells where they exchange the oxygen and carbon dioxide in 100 trillion cells. This exchange takes place with every breath. Every time we inhale, we take in 1 million particles. And every time we exhale, we release into the world 1 million particles that have passed through our system and spread around the world. So if you understand this, is that we breathe in 1 million particles, and these particles have been breathed by other people around the world throughout history. We take them in to our bodies and we send them out. And I believe that if we're sending out loving vibrations with every exhale, there's 1 million particles go out with our loving vibrations into the world with every breath. So some of my particles that I'm exhaling right now will be picked up by the trade winds and will be in the MidEast, and you'll be breathing them during this next week. And I'll be breathing some of what you're exhaling as it comes around the world this month. So the effectiveness of this process is controlled by the quality of our breathing. The outer breath is the chemical composition of the air and the mechanics of our physical body. The inner breath, what I would call the inner breathing, is the ability to receive and to give prana, vital life energy, back and forth to everyone in the universe. So the quantity of our breathing, our resting breath averages 12 to 14 breaths per minute for men and 14 to 15 breaths per minute for women. When we're under stress, our body will naturally go up to 15 breaths per minute. Conscious breathing builds energy and endurance and emotional equilibrium. Conscious breathing helps us heal physically, gracefully age, helps us with pain management and mental concentration. Conscious breathing helps us in physical performance, being taught on many athletic teams now, helps us in our psycho-spiritual transformation. I'm truly honored to be together with you in this process.